Hello, and welcome to another episode of Space Engineers. This is your host, Wolf and Ray, and today I'm making a second video concerning the new ship that I've built for the workshop, which is the C-Series frigate, planetary frigate, called the Patriot, which is the prototype's name. Now, of course, you could just name it whatever you want. Today, I wanted to take a look at short range or point defense combat. I guess that would be CQC, close quarters combat. This ship, the Patriot, is not designed for close quarters combat. It really only has point defense. But just to give an idea of what it can do or what it is capable of doing or how to control the ship in close quarters combat, some of the things that you might do, I'm just making this little demonstration here today. So let me just get in the pilot seat and we'll just get right off. As you can see right over there, here, let's zoom out a little bit. Right over there we have a base. We're going to do a little panorama of the ship, and it's just a Raiders outpost. So I wanted to demonstrate some of the weapon systems and such, just to show what this ship is capable of doing in close quarters combat. Now in the future I'm going to make a second variant of this. I'm going to call it the Horizon, which is going to be more geared towards space combat, space escort, and close quarters combat. But for the purposes of this demonstration, I just wanted to show some of the things that this thing can do. Now, first of all, I'm going to tell you right now that it would be a lot easier if I had a navigator. And as you may not be aware, I play Space Engineers not as a third person. I always gear my ships in first person, and it because that in my youth I used to actually sail in the Arctic Ocean, and Space Engineers kind of gives me that feeling of sailing from when I was young. Even though it's space and not the ocean, it's the same thing. So when I design my ships, and some of the systems and things that I put in my ships, like it's mostly interior for the survivability of the person on the inside. I want to be inside the ship because that is really how a person would actually view it. And the combat tactics that you would use and the systems that you would use, would it be from a third person outside of the ship perspective, but more from an inside of the ship perspective. So even though some of the things you might do if you had a third person point of view, you certainly would not do from a first person point of view if you were inside the ship. So what we're doing is I'm getting closer to the target at hand. And here's why. If I had a navigator, let me slow down and stop. It says I still got one more kilometer to go before I'm come to a complete stop. And that's one of the things that I like to build about this ship, is that you don't need to have your HUD on, and you still have all the information that you need, except for, of course, what's in your toolbar. That's why I have my HUD on, or I am able to flip through it. Okay, it looks like we're going to stop at about 3 miles from it. So if I had a navigator, he would be looking at all of these things. As you can see, the ship already detects the object in front of me, giving out the waypoints, and that's from the Wico Techniker's scanning thing, which it is showing you we got one detected item. And so if I had a navigator, he would call out the large grid and say, okay, this is what's in front of us. Now, the grid scanner, the Fly 2 scanner, is a little bit more touchy. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to number 1, and I'm going to get myself in the pointer. Now, I don't usually use the crosshairs because, I don't like the crosshairs, and I don't even really like the overlay. I mean, I'm glad that they cleared up the middle thing, but it's really unnecessary, especially since, like, when you're shooting your cannons, it's a clear cam, so why can't they have this be a clear cam? It's something a lot of people have complained about. What can you do? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to bar number 9 and hit program number 4, which is my automatic fly to. And it looks like that my ship saw that and now wants to fly to it. So now I'm going to put on my frontal shield. As you can see, one of the neat things about this is that if you put an armor block directly in front of a camera, it'll see through the armor block, see, and give you a cool little thing saying, oh hey, look at this here. Now that I'm on autopilot and my target is launched, I can now go to my camera, and as you can see, there is no overlay on my cannons. I don't have to worry about flying my ship because it's on autopilot, and it'll automatically stop about 100, 250 yards from the target. I have my shield up, so I'm not going to get hit in the face. As you can see, my cannons just go to town. I can pick out the targets that I need to pick out in order to... Oh, looks like they took out my cannon. Yes, and I can't see in front of it. Darn it. So let's see if I can get a different gun that helps me see. Well, it looks like we just made short work of this of the ship. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Looks like we did take some damage though. Nothing too major. We took some damage around the engines of our ship. Oh, wait a second, what are these? These are taking damage too. We'll have to investigate it. Anyways, it looks like that our top turret just got knocked out. Of course, and there it is. There is saying it. The autopilot scanner is telling us everything we need to know about it. So I'm going to go and show another feature of this ship, which means that I'm going to have to turn off my guns. And let's see, 5, 6, and 7. We're going to turn off my guns. And let me lock that down. Go to my window. And I'm going to there's like one more cannon left, I believe. I'm just going to let it shoot at me for a little bit just to show you another feature concerning point defense. Will it shoot at me? That's what I want to know. Did I knock them all out? Is it incapable of shooting at me now? Probably. Wouldn't that be something? Oh, there it goes. Now it's shooting at me. As you can see, it's starting to hit my window a little bit. Ooh. Okay, looks like it's bursted through. So here's what the emergency situation would be. If it breaks through your cockpit, you can go to your emergency cockpit, right? Then I can close the door. Okay. And now I'm just gonna get on out of there. Well, it says it's not the main cockpit, but that's okay because then all I'd have to do is go to my jump drive. Let's do this. Make it jump, and we'll just jump out. Three, two, one, and we're out of there. And I don't need my helmet anymore because this area, of course, is pressurized. So I'm safe and I'm good to go. And then I can go out and assess the damage as necessary. And let's take a look at what damage actually happened. Okay, it looks like we took some hits here in the hydrogen nacelle. Looks like we took a hit here in the cannon up here. Now we also took some hits that broke through the cabin of the front cockpit. Okay, right here. I see it. Let me get some light on there. And I think that's it. And we escaped relatively easy. Now there was one thing that, oh, looks like we took a little hit right up under there. Okay, and it was saying, there's one thing that I don't like about the space engineers, and that is they need to work on keeping the sounds so that the sounds will stay on between saves. Like every time you turn it off and then turn it back on, you have to reallocate what the sound block plays, which I think is supremely short-sighted and needs to be improved upon. But anyways, when that alarm went off, here's how it was supposed to go. Or maybe not. Okay, I think that was the wrong solution to that. There we go. There we go. It turns it off automatically. So, as you can see, it'll say, warning, enemy detected. I'll have an alarm that'll go off. The lights go off. This is your red alert function. Pretty thematic, and I like it. It gives me a Star Trek kind of feeling, and it is kind of something that you would hear in a ship, especially like if you happen to run up against an iceberg or something like that. So what happened, the way oh, well, it looks like I got shot or something. All sorts of hassles. Oh, I see what happened. I got burned because one of the emergency systems that I have is that the welder will kick on during an emergency situation in order to keep the medical bay fixed, so that way the respawn point doesn't break. And then there's another one up underneath here which keeps your cockpits put together and your jump drive put together. So here in about another half minute after the actual physical alarms go down, the rest of the ship, the lights and the such, will click off. So we just got to wait about another half minute. So you can see that this is quite extensive emergency situations. So first of all, your cryogenic bay, your air filters, your air generators, your medical bay, will all be preserved from if you remember, if you take a hit. And there everything came back on. Now as you can see, the welders turn off and we're good to go. Okay, I'm going to end this video and I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Let's see if I'm able to do that. So goodbye, and I will see you next time.